People, welcome back to Politricks Watch. This is LP. Now, Rivali, or Spanish Town in general, is threatening to get real spooky. One of the quote-unquote done them, right, from the era, lose him life. They tell him called Killer. You might remember him because in the early days when time I used to do bedbugs video them, you start about him because them time him and them was friends. Well, things change. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna show you how the favorite leaders them, who the love for defend and make excuse, continue to fail the nation. Before we go any further, I want to send a special Patreon birthday shout out to Lumos. Now Lumos, I know say I tune in early morning as usual. Alright, big up yourself, big up your entire family. I don't know what them plan for you today, but hopefully you have a good time and you enjoy yourself, right? So live long and prosper. See? Lumos, Patreon squad, big up yourself. Make a move into the video. The youth named Killer. In the early days, we start about him. You see, he was already a known 87, but then in the end up get locked up. So it was like one organization. And as you know, the man them actually control bedbugs, Smokey and Izzy them, they're actually behind bars. Not only are they behind bars, but they're currently on trial in the Klansman 33 case. Jamaica is a place where even time man they on trial, them still a quote unquote run place. But in the streets, right, people know Muta and them there. If you don't know about the bedbugs, you can go back and check out the early videos then. The PIA special operations that were carried out against them were unprecedented. Even down to the naming of the gang, right? It's a PIA thing. But people from them time they remember. So, bedbugs, Killer. When him first come from jail, him and them start link back. Him a Theme faction and you have the bedbugs faction. But as me say, when him did that jail, Theme faction did basically under the control of Izzy and them and them. When Killer touch back the road, him get back Theme 87s then and then start for quote unquote run the place. But enough people now realize say Killer, them time they did basically a take talk from Izzy them. But then Killer start to make Theme own money, start to get stronger on him own, start to do him own a thing. So you know what's coming next. Now take no more talk from bedbugs. Now take no more talk from Smokey and Izzy them. And this right here so was inevitable. Even though Killer are Theme 87 them, bedbugs have more links. Right? Them can call upon more man for run program. Right, so them run program and it end up take out Killer. Rifleman, draw down on him, over a dozen shot him get. Right. Mash him up and left him on the asphalt near the hot sun. So now, people from Rivali, people from Spanish Town are nervous. Because them a wonder what Killer's 87 them are gonna do. A two-way it can go right now. They can either fall back in line with bedbugs them, right, like how things were before Killer get released from prison. Or them can decide to them go fight them own a gang war against bedbugs and hazy them. Right? Muta them and all them you did. And as you can imagine, that has the potential to get real ugly. So it's not guaranteed that a gang war will start because the whole of the man them know each other and they might just decide say well Killer gone, better we just link back. Whatever the case may be, your favorite leaders fail Spanish Town again. Bedbugs them, even though they go through long periods of being quiet in terms of killing people. Because people from Rivali, Waterloo can tell us say the reason why them rate the PIA so much is because when time we first start to call out the bedbugs, them could assist say them actually ease up after the whole shootings because the spotlight was on them. So because the whole shootings them it kinda slow down. Right, remember last year St. Catherine North did see a dip in crime. But then me telling you say certain man a come back a road and when them man they come back a road, right, and then the landscape change, man a go on do them one thing, man a go say them a them one bad man and them not take no talk from a little boy because you must say most of them a little boy compared to some of the man them where they are jail. So now St. Catherine North is looking real spooky. People are gonna tell you say politicians in Jamaica need a whole heap of time to bring in these laws and make these changes and bring in these tactics. That is nonsense. You want proof? Check the Big C. Now, no, so there are two different issues, but they could both be considered crisis. Everybody agree? Crime. Jamaica is #1 in the entire region, possibly the entire world. Right. And the Big C. Now, Jamaica's infection or death rate for the Big C is not #1 in the entire world. Let me say that again. Jamaica's infection or death rate for the Big C is not #1, nowhere near it in the entire world. But for murder, we're #1. Right. Above El Salvador, above Honduras, all in places. So we can agree, crime in Jamaica is a crisis. It reached crisis level long time. For decades now a crisis. But when it comes on to Big C, something that was brand new for them never have no research, no data, nothing at all. Them act quickly. They had some laws where them could have used, but what them do? Then go back for more. They updated the DRMA. Right? And it passed through the House of Parliament, passed through the Senate, no problem. Man. Your favorite opposition senators never want to see the data. Them never say, we want to see years and years of research before we agree say them new policies here are going to have any effect on fighting the Big C and stopping the spreading and cut down on death and all them things there. Them never say that. The paperwork turn up in front of them sign it and push it through. Very quickly. Unless you forget. I want you to forget. I want to forget how fast DRMA it updated. They had powers already and then go back for more. The government of Jamaica is so powerful, they can turn big people in a picnic. Only your parents can tell us to make sure you reach home by this time or else. That is what the Jamaican government did. The government say, make sure you stay in a yard by this time. And people who never in them yard get locked up, man get fined, big money, all kind of thing. People who never see station in them life, see station cause a Big C. Government say, come off the road. Right, them not run no joke, they not skin the teeth. A crisis, come off the road. We are trying to save on the life cause we care. Come off the road. Right, come go up. Right. Move from there. Right. So the government that behave. Because them say Big C a crisis. So the laws them what them say are going to come in are currently stuck in the Senate. Opposition senators say them want to see research and them want to see before them convince that them laws are going to deter man, right, from picking up illegal firearm. Now, why they never ask for years of research when time them bring in DRMA? Why opposition senators never say them now pass DRMA laws until them see years of research from the Big C? And years of research to show say if you bring in this, it'll go make man stop God dance. And if you bring in this law, right, we're going to lock up people or fine man 200,000 and this and that, I go actually stop people from grouping up and not wearing man. Them never ask none of that and just push them through. Because them take Big C serious. And they actually afraid of Big C. Because Big C can affect them and them pitney them. But crime, when it affect them and them pitney them, they may drag them foot for 10 years. And tell us, well, we want to see more, we're not sure yet. So, them accountants say, well, even if we bring in them laws and them new policy, it no guarantee say people now go still bust gun and kill. Of course it won't. Of course man go still bad and man go still kill people. It's not about guarantee. It's never been about guarantee because there is no such thing as guarantee. The same way there was no guarantee said DRMA I go stop man from party and stop man from group up and stop man from walking around without no mask on their face. There was no guarantee. But that was not an argument them time. No, it's an argument. I could play a game of Wheel of Logic. So I could play a game of Wheel of Logic since people have talked about guarantee. Is it guaranteed so when a biker wear him helmet, if him drop off, him a go live? When them say wear your seatbelt, does wearing a seatbelt guarantee so people are going to live in a one car accident? No, it doesn't. So why people bother wear a seatbelt then? It no guarantee. Because it's not about guarantee. It's about increasing the chances of you surviving. It's about increasing the chances, right, of having a favorable result. So, no. legislation not go guarantee say nobody not go take out no more illegal gun and kill nobody. It is about increasing the chances of people being deterred from taking up badness, because the consequences would be so severe. That is what a deterrence is. Them know this. These are educated people. They ain't go big school. A politics them a play. Under the psyches of caring about you. When politicians go to them bed at night time, they are worried about how they can get power and hold on to it, not you. And if you think otherwise, they have a table for sell you. Remember the story with the spinning table? You go a flat bridge? Guess what? I have it. I have that spinning table in my yard right now. Because if you think your favorite leaders, number one priority is not getting power and holding on to power, whatever the cost, then we have that table if you sell you. And you sell it for a good price. The same spinning table. The one of them say cursed, and the much Spanish and people gone over flat bridge to try to get it, them see it come up at midday and to spin and then they go back down. I have it. Link my feet. So all of the people them who try to come up with an excuse for your favorite leaders them, while them continue to fail, right, we don't want you no more excuse some of them. So just like how your favorite leaders could make the entire country, adults turn a picnic and say you can't leave yard and you can't go for your city or something. Or the same way, if them did really want to get rid of crime from certain communities, they would bring them same extreme measures there. So ask yourself the question, where your favorite leaders can shut down an entire country, but then can't shut down one local lane and find the whole of the gun them on it. They can't shut down John's Road and walk and find every gun. Right. They can't shut down Matches Lane, they can't shut down 100 Lane, Park Lane, we talk about very small communities, and just walk and find every gun. Them say, well, we have to respect people's rights and respect. Them never respect nobody's rights during the Big C. If I lie me I tell me in the comment section. Did they respect nobody's choice? Did they respect nobody's? Them say turn in your yard and if you left, you go to jail. That them say. Big C. The government have that power. But that power is reserved for quote unquote disasters. So crime and violence is a disaster. Being number one in the entire region, possibly the entire world, is not disaster. At no point was Jamaica's death rate for the Big C number one in the world, but we are number one in the world for murder rate. But you know you say them lockdown, bad man place. It no matter how big the gang is, how much people are dead night. You know you say them are we're gonna just lock it down, right, and just walk and find every gun. Right? Because them only per gun there. Them in some place where you can walk out in a one day. Any bad man place you can think about, then can walk it out, you can go up on your foot, park your car and walk it out in a one day. There's only so many places you can hide a gun. But when it comes down to quote unquote disaster, then the business about your choice and your rights, them say, we're going to do what we have to do because of serious times. When it comes on to crime and violence, murder, them say, well, we're taking our time and we have to remember, so we have to go through this process and we don't want to upset nobody and we don't want to, because we have to remember, say, because for them, crime and violence is not disaster. Because crime and violence don't affect them. It don't affect their favorite leaders. It don't affect high society. It don't affect their golden child, which is the tourism industry, right? And the Billy Joe and Gwyneth tourists them, we fly down to Jamaica and have a great time. They're not being murdered in the streets. If they were, then the same people that might drag them foot them now would have turned, right, in a road runner. Beep beep. That's a fast and that's the laws, right? Beep beep. New law. Beep beep. New law. Just like DRMA. Update within no time. DRMA get amended and updated before the gun laws them, with my promise from what kill filo. Them people are never serious about nothing. They're not serious about crime fighting. They're not serious about protecting Jamaicans. Them alright. But guess what, Jamaica? The joke is on you. Anyway, Patreon Squad, big up on yourself. Yeah, you don't know. More life. Ultra Squad, stay circling. Bless.